You have to be ready to really obtain this status because you have to get the entrepreneur mindset, and that's what I've been missing. In July, I'm 60, and I'm excited because it's like that next phase of life, and I'm ready for it. I'm prepared. I feel like I've been on a hamster wheel with my businesses. They've been going well, but I have not seen the results that I've, targeted, and I had my goals. And so running across Dr. Nicole's program on social media, it spoke to my spirit because I've always had coaches in my businesses and in my nursing career and film career, but I've only gotten to a certain level. And so when I heard her speak, I started doing research on her on YouTube as well. And I felt like she's the missing piece to this puzzle. And so after taking the challenge, I really was excited and inspired because when something is speaking directly to you. And I'm a very spiritual person. And so I pray about a lot of things. And so I knew immediately she was that missing piece. And of course, I went back and prayed about it. And, God assured me, that you said you only want the best of the best. We don't have time for all these counterfeit people because I'm not 20 anymore. I'm almost 60. So I want to get down to business and make sure I fulfill the calling on my life with God. So that's the reason I decided to move forward with this membership with you guys. And I already told my husband, Dr. Nicole and I will be lifelong business partners and with the team because I function with coaches my whole life. So when I find that one that's taking me where I need to go, I'm going to continue to be the student. This is the real deal. I like the structure, the systems that are already in place, and then meeting the team that supports it. Because I know you have people that run businesses, but you don't always see the leader. But when you have the leader introduce their team, that lets me see that she can transform lives. Because if she can transfer her information into her team to be able to duplicate the process, then I knew this was the program for me. Because God forbid something was to ever happen to her, her business and her legacy will live on because she's transferred that information into her team and you all have the same vision and goal. And that's important. If you don't have everything moving in sync, it will not stand. So that really made me know that this is the course I need to be on. During the challenge, I had just suffered death in my family, and I was actually at bedside when they passed away. And then my son-in-law's family lost 3 family members. And as I'm progressing now in the program, my daughter and I own a dance studio, and one of our teachers had a cardiac arrest last Saturday, and she'll be coming off the vent today. And so as I navigate through this journey that I'm on, I realize that life is short and you have to really follow your calling, and you have to know that you're going to have trials and tribulations. Life is going to be life in you when you're trying to move forward, but be able to sit in whatever situation you're in and have some type of support system. Mine is my God, my Savior, my best friend, and then my family. And so it's important to use these obstacles to propel you where you need to be. So for me, it's important that I fulfill my call because she fulfilled her call as a ballet teacher, a premier teacher here in Virginia. And as this catastrophic event has occurred in our lives, it happened a little over a week, and we've raised over $50,000. So that speaks volumes to the character of her and how she fulfilled her calling. So I'm more motivated, more excited to know that I need to fulfill my calling because I won't be here forever. But when I'm gone, this staffing agency will represent my journey in nursing and, my support and will to help the community because this is going to fill in the gaps for a lot of needs for healthcare. So been my biggest challenge, just keeping my mind focused on what I need to do. I have my days where I laugh and I cry, but I'm still in here producing and doing what I need to do to get my work done. So just keep going. When we went on Indeed to look up our demographics for our business, it was an eye-opener the way she taught us to look at the needs, full-time, part-time, the RNs, LPNs, NAs, whatever we were focusing on, to look at the gap and look at the need and understand just 1% of that market, how it could impact us, just 1%. And that was an eye-opener for me because I've been in nursing so long, I've done traveling, I've done contracts, but not really looking at the full value of what I was bringing to that industry. And now to be on this end, to be able to become financially stable and also have time freedom for my future. And I know it's true. And then I think we talked about making $1 million, like how many years it would take to make it, or you've made it, but it would take you this long. I know that I will be a millionaire. And my husband and I had this discussion this weekend because he's like, well, I know you have a goal to be a millionaire. I said, no, I have a promise from God to be a millionaire. It's a difference. And so, but I have to do the work and I have to find his people that he's sending to help me and know that's my help. Because sometimes you're waiting on your help to look a certain way, but it doesn't always look like what you think. So to meet Dr. Nicole and listen to her story and listen to some of her pitfalls and lessons she's learned from her husband, well, her now husband. I love it. I love it because it resonates with me. So those are some of the things that I learned in the challenge. They will never be far away from me because I just look at that and I say, wow, I can do this. I think I've learned that there's more people out there like me because I've met a few people from the challenge and a few people that moved on in the program with me. And we're building alliances already, checking on each other, making sure we understand what we need to do, and then actually setting up meet and greets. So I'm excited about that because I have friends and families and associates, but they don't understand the way I think. And sometimes I feel like a unicorn because they're looking at me when I tell them something. They're like, okay, here she go again. But I know I left them behind a long time ago. They stopped cheering me on because they feel like, oh, she's just, she's always got a dream. She's always got this. But it feels good to know that I'm with my tribe. I'm with people that think like me and are not intimidated by each other. Everybody's moving together. So I think that's real important. I like a lot of communication. So I feel like when I put the community's address into my email box, I can go back and I start over a lot. I go back and I read from the beginning and then the comments that some of my peers sent. And I just think it speaks volumes to what's to come. And that's important to me. I don't like to keep saying, well, where is this and how do you do this? I like people that's proactive, not reactive. And I think that's what the community is all about. And then you're going to be my coach, Christine, and I'm excited about that. I was impressed with everybody, but I don't know. When I heard you speak and talk, I just felt like, oh, this would be nice if I could work with her because I think, it's funny, I was like, I think we're kind of similar. She'll get me and she'll be like, okay, or whatever. So, when you're like in school, you see the teachers and you say, oh, I wish I had that teacher and that. So it worked out. And so when I got the email, I just started laughing. So I'm excited. 2 weeks into the program, my goals are to make sure I do my due diligence, finding out different laws and certifications in Virginia. But I found out already last week when I was calling, people were like, they really didn't know what I was talking about. They didn't know if I needed this and that. And I remember you guys said that. And so I was laughing. I say, well, I might move through this thing pretty freely because they're like, I don't think you need anything. And I'm like, you sure I don't need anything? That validated the coaching already. I said, okay, they said that. They say some people may not even know what you're talking about. And so I'm going to make some more calls today. And so my goals are to make sure that I follow instructions, follow the lead, because as a nurse, it's totally different thinking. We're expected to jump out there and create the process, create the plan, and teach other people. So now I'm in a posture of following the leader because Nicole is there. So don't get in front of you guys. Walk with you and unless you say, Robyn, get this done and, bring it back to me. So that's where I'm in a different posture. So my goal is to really be a student. And when it's time to teach, it's time to teach. But when it's time to be the student, be the student. So that's where I'm at now. Those are my goals so that I can see the company launch in March. Those are my goals, to not get ahead, do exactly what you say when you say it. And, I can review the curriculum early, but just not be too fast. So if I were to recommend the program to someone else, I would really let them know just how unique this program is. because Dr. Nicole is proven. Her receipts are all over the social media platform, and you have to be ready to really obtain this status, because you can make $400,000 or $500,000. You can be a business owner. You can have all of these accolades, but you have to get the entrepreneur mindset, and that's what I've been missing. So if you think you're going to do this as a side hustle and you're just going to get by and do this, it's not on the level that she is presenting it. So you can't come into this program thinking this is just a little side job. This is serious business, and it will change the trajectory of your life. And I see that, and I know that, and I feel it in my spirit. So I would highly recommend this to people that's been on a hamster wheel. They've really been working, but they just can't quite get over that hurdle, that this is the program. It's worth looking into and looking at the receipts, because a lot of people say stuff, but they don't have the receipts. That's real important. Those are lessons I've learned through hiring coaches, making sure that the receipts are not their friends talking. Come outside of that circle and start looking at people that are well established. They're not going to put you on that platform if you're a fraud. And I've seen her on some powerful platforms that I know are legit. If people are in nursing, they know how nurses function. And so to see nurses jump into certain arenas, like her into the staffing industry, is huge, because she's got the formula. So I highly recommend it. And I'm working in a silos right now, just moving silently, doing this for a few weeks, because like I said, I have a lot of associates that see me do multiple things, and I don't need to hear the naysayers. I'm staying in a positive mindset. And I know, with nursing, I got that on autopilot and it's moving. I got my film career on autopilot and it's moving, my investing, and now I want to work on this and focus on this. So I would highly recommend it to anybody that asks and anybody that say, hey, you got to tell me, because most of the time I get that question, how did you get here? How did that happen? And I'm going to get credit where credit is due, but in the end, you got to do the work.